This weekend is graduation at Stanford. The commencement speaker for the medical school ceremony is a Stanford doctor who's now a Stanford patient. He's fighting stage 4 lung cancer. This is not a story about death. It's a story about life and hope. In the shadows of Hoover Tower, this is no ordinary walk through campus, and this is no ordinary professor.
Really thought it was very important to add this session to our class.
Dr. Bryant Lin is also patient Bryant Lin, battling stage 4 lung cancer.
Eventually got an x-ray, big white area here in my right lung. I got 2 tumors in my lung, a tumor in my liver and in my bones, but I don't have pain.
About a year ago, he got the news that would change his life. His good health stripped away, but his hope and humor intact.
Now, you always been this funny? Or is this just recently?
Funny looking? Yes. I've always been this funny looking.
No, seriously, throughout your teaching, throughout your medical career, do you incorporate this personality and everything?
Absolutely. I mean, life is too, I knew life was short before, but now I really know life is short. So humor is a big part of it, honestly, how I cope and deal, with this illness, which honestly sucks.
A non-smoker, Lin is the co-founder of Stanford's Center for Asian Health Research and Education. Ironically, he studies lung cancer in non-smokers.
1 year later, what's your prognosis? What are your chances here?
So historically, for stage 4 lung cancer, you have about a 10% survival rate within 5 years. But you'll have to have hope, right? You can't live your life saying, geez, I've got a 90% chance I'm going to die within the next 5 years. To me, I live my life thinking, hey, people are surviving. People have lived.
And I went through the experience of what a patient goes through.
He's not just surviving, he's thriving. Last fall, Dr. Lin taught Med 275, a class about his real-time battle with cancer.
As much as I seem so happy and, laughing and joking, it's a tough class emotionally to teach. I didn't think about that before I started the class, but now looking back, I think, wow, it was a tough class emotionally to get through myself.
Dr. Lin isn't teaching that class anymore, but he's still very active on campus, putting his energy into raising awareness around lung cancer research.
Lung cancer is the most underfunded of the major cancers, and it's the #1 cause of cancer death, not just in the U.S., but in the world.
I'm looking forward to kicking this cancer's butt.
This is a documentary called Be Here With You. It follows Dr. Lin's life. He wanted to do this project for his wife, Christine, and 2 sons, 17-year-old Dominic and 13-year-old Atticus.
The 17-year-old's graduating from high school, got into college, thankfully. But what I want is hopefully to live till my 7th grader, my 13-year-old, gets to high school and graduates from high school. That's my dream.
What does Dr. Lin say to patient Lin?
I think, again, it's all about, what are you going to do today? What can you do that's constructive and positive? Most of all, I like to be kind. I remind myself, I don't know if it's Dr. Lin telling patient Lin or just me saying, hey, remember to be kind. One thing that I didn't do as much, even though I knew it was important, was to slow down. And so I sit there in my backyard in my fake grass, in my little camping chair, and it's wonderful.
Bryant Lin is filled with gratitude, not just for the people close to him, but the many strangers from around the world.
I tear up when I read some of the emails I get from strangers thousands of miles away. I got one from somebody who said, hey, thank you, Dr. Lin, for sharing your story. This is the first time I've cried in 6 weeks since my father died. And I'm choking him now. The fact that, he took some time out of his day to write me is incredible.
As for this weekend, there will likely be tears and laughter when Dr. Lin gives the keynote at the graduation ceremony.
What are we going to see at this commencement speech?
It's a lot of pressure, right? People are graduating. This is a big deal in their life. But then I semi-remembered the graduation speech from my medical school. And he said, and the only thing I remember from his speech is nobody remembers what you say at graduation speeches. I'm going to try a few new things at the graduation, including, because I'm Director of Medical Humanities and Arts, some creative exercises. They're going to be back in class again. Yeah, hopefully I'll make it memorable in a fun way, yeah.